Using PocketLab Notebook with OpenSciEd curriculum. You can find the full units for OpenSciEd 6.1, 7.1, and 8.1 in the PocketLab lesson library. These are the first units of OpenSciEd for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, available this summer for you to preview. If you open one of these units, you can see all of the content inside. Each of the units is made up of several lessons that each have multiple days as well as a teacher guide. Up at the top you'll find a lesson, Getting Started with OpenSciEd and PocketLab, as well as a unit overview and resources for each one of these units. We recommend you start with this Getting Started guide. This is where you'll find not only this video again, but a place to sign up for a webinar on how to use OpenSciEd with PocketLab Notebook. We'll be running these bi-weekly throughout the summer to help people learn how to use PocketLab Notebook and OpenSciEd together. This lesson will also have OpenSciEd's instructional model, as well as some how to get started instructions. The unit overview will let you know broadly what each unit will be covering, as well as the materials that you'll need and the resources that you should review before you get started with each unit. We've included webinars from OpenSciEd that talk more in depth about what each unit covers, links to some of the resources that will be helpful, as well as the materials for the full unit. Materials for each individual lesson and each individual day are included in those lessons' relevant teacher guides. Inside of each lesson, you'll find those teacher guides as well as an assignment for every day of instruction. When you want to use one of these lessons in your class or just add it to your notebook account, you can click Add to My Courses here. This will let you know that you're viewing a preview of the course, and then to edit the course or assign it to classes, you can add the course to your notebook account. For the summer preview, each of these units for grades 6, 7, and 8 will be available for you to view the full lesson content to decide if it's a right fit for your classroom. One feature in PocketLab Notebook is that you can open up any of these lessons, view them all in depth, as well as reorder things and make any changes. Each of these cards are fully editable, so you can make any changes to fit your classroom, make lessons longer or shorter, or reorganize the cards if you think it makes more sense for your classroom. So you can click and drag to move things around, or you can make any changes. When you are ready to assign one of these lessons to a class of students, you can click Assign to Class up here if you've already created your classes on the Classes page. The Classes page can be found over here. To create classes, you can click this Add Class button, or you can import classes from Google Classroom. So you can click Add Class to create a new class. After creating a class, you can add students. Any students that you add on a new line will create a new student account for them. You can copy and paste a list of students right in here and create student accounts for all of them at once. So now we have student accounts for students 1, 2, and 3. Each of these students will log in with this class code and their name exactly as it appears here. If you create a classroom with Google Classroom, students will just use their Google sign-on to sign into the class. Now that we have our class set up, now we'll go back into My Lessons, into Grade 6, Unit 1, and then we'll add one of these lessons to that class. So we'll start with Lesson 1, and we'll add this full module to a class. And we'll select OpenSciEd 6th grade here. Now each of the days for that lesson are added to this classroom. So each day we can click Assign and assign these lessons to students. So for this lesson, I want students to work in groups. I'm going to create some new groups here. You'll obviously have more students than this, but we'll put students 1 and 2 in group 1, and student 3 will be here by themselves. You can reuse these same groups in every assignment, so you only have to set them up once, but at any time you can change which group each student is in. And if you add more students to your class later, or students get moved around, you can always remove students or add new students to the groups. And when you're happy with these groups, you can click Send Assignment to Groups to push this lesson out to students. Now you'll see this dashboard where you can see student progress. So student 1 has not started the assignment, and neither has student 2 or student 3. Now I'm going to take this class code and show what things look like from the student side of things. So from the home page, while you're logged out, students will sign in here. They'll enter their class code. When they enter the class code, they'll see the name of the class appear here. They'll sign in. They'll see their new assignment show up, 6.1, day 1. And now the student can work through this lesson. They can watch the video, do a discussion with their class with these prompts. In this section, students will develop a diagram showing their initial ideas of the phenomenon they'll be investigating. Students can use this drawing tool to draw right in Notebook, or there are instructions and linked worksheets if you want students to do their work on paper. In this section, students can add responses and type their answers here. As a teacher, you can see when lessons are in progress, and you can mark them as complete once students have all finished. So from this progress view, you can see students' work as they complete this assignment. We can see student 1 has started, and we can click into any of these sections to see their work. So we can see here that student 1 did a little bit of work on this diagram, and we can see that they started their answer on this last question. I can add a comment here, say great work. I can easily go back and see where other students are as well. That is how you can import OpenSciEd units into your PocketLab Notebook account, so you can explore them for this summer preview, as well as use them in a pilot this fall. For more information, please sign up for our bi-weekly PocketLab Notebook and OpenSciEd webinar. If you have any questions, please reach out to support@thepocketlab.com.